Hello, I'm Glyndora Condon. I'm a licensed professional counselor with Hill and Hope Counseling Services. When people come to me, they normally are coming to me either because of anxiety or depression, anger management issues, impulse control issues, focus, concentration. There's all kinds of issues that occur that a licensed professional counselor does see and treat. One thing that I do very first is I find out what it is that they're eating. You see, people with these particular disorders, the first thing that they normally do is go to a doctor and say, hey, I'm sad, I'm depressed, give me a pill. I'm anxious, so give me a pill. I've just went through grief and loss, and so therefore I need a pill to make it better. I can't control my anger, so I need a pill. The problem with that issue is that you may get a pill, and then you may start like at 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams. Before you know it, you're up to 50, and then maybe 75, and then 100, and then 150, and it continues to spiral out of control. And then you not only have anxiety and depression, which the medicine is no longer controlling, but you also have a substance abuse issue that is possible. So I'm very concerned with that strategy, with the way that our culture has gravitated more and more and more to med management. A lot of these issues can first be controlled with diet. And I'm not talking about a lose weight type diet. I'm talking about a healthy, balancing type of diet that will make sure that your cellular system is all in balance. You see, a person should eat at least 6 times a day, not just 3, because they need those chemicals balanced throughout the day. Okay, so you need breakfast, a snack, lunch, a snack, dinner, and a snack. Okay, but those need to be healthy foods, and that does exclude sugar. Okay, but the sugar-free things that we normally get a hold of anymore is also not very healthy for us, because they have chemicals in them and they're synthetic, and so and that too leads to issues. The medicine and the sugar-free are synthetic, and so therefore our body doesn't metabolize it very well, and we will end up having all kinds of side effects. Okay, so what we need to do is mainly focus on healthy proteins with a lot of greens, a lot of, the vegetables, the yellow vegetables, the green vegetables, as well as good wholesome fruit. And if your child doesn't like apples, see if it's because there's a peeling on it. And you can always take the peeling off, and that makes that apple a little bit more appetizing for many kids. But sugar. A lot of times our families reward children's behavior with a candy bar. They're giving them sugar. We have an increase of ADHD and autism. A lot of times I do have to factor in that the possibility for these increases of those particular disorders is due to all of the different manipulation of our food sources. Putting in all kinds of chemicals and synthetics that our food does not need. And therefore our body is reacting to it. Not only with ADHD and autism and depression and anxiety, but also with the health issues such as fibromyalgia and more arthritis and cancer and so on and so forth. So we really need to be very smart as to what we put into our bodies. Now, we were fairly smart when we first found ourselves pregnant, and we were thinking about the health of that little baby that was inside of us. So we ate healthy. If we were smokers, we stopped smoking. If we even took prescription drugs, we stopped taking prescription drugs because we were concerned about the development of our babies' brains and their bodies. And then while they were on, like baby food, then of course they were getting healthy baby food that didn't have a lot of additives or anything of this nature that could harm them. No sugar. And then they began to eat by mouth. Whole foods, foods that we eat, and not coming in those little jars or those boxes. And so therefore, we introduce them to sodas, and we introduce them to candy and sweets because, ooh, that tastes good. So we want to reward our children with something that is actually not healthy for them. No benefit whatsoever, and a lot of harm. You see, our children's brains are still developing until they're 23 to 27 years old, depending upon their gender. And here we are, putting in a chemical that is not good for their brains, which is creating more impulse control issues, anger, aggression, depression, anxiety. Yes, sugar is not good for us. Not just a little bit. There is no benefit of sugar. There's a lot of harm to sugar. So how do we feel like that is rewarding our child to give something to our child that is going to then cause more of a consistent impulse control problem, or talking back, or focus or concentration issues that they cannot help because their chemicals are totally imbalanced because of something we handed to them? Doesn't make quite any sense, does it? I am asking you as parents to stop giving your children sugar. Don't give them sodas. Don't give them sugar. Don't reward good behavior with food, because this then connects comfort food eating when one is depressed and anxious, which tends to then create an obesity problem. We don't want to do that. Reward them instead with quality time with you. That's far more better, and that's what the child really wants, is more time with you, not sugar. It doesn't make any sense to have to discipline your child because your child is misbehaving, because your child has impulse control problems, and you just gave them a candy bar. It just doesn't. It's kind of cruel. So give your child an apple, a kiwi, an orange. Give them blueberries, strawberries, a fruit salad, not from a can, again, that has sugar, but real fruit. If you want to give them juice, blend it. Use fruit and blend it. Throw in a carrot. That's good. What we tend to do is we take our children to the doctor every time that they get a sniffle, and we're doing two things. We're exposing them to all of the different diseases that's in the office by all of those other children, and as well as their parents. And we're taking them in someplace, and they're going to probably get an injection of an antibiotic. And antibiotics builds tolerances as well, while lowering your child's immune system. There are many natural things that we have out here that are far more beneficial, with far less side effects and harmful results that occur with their use. So as a counselor, what I do is I first make sure that whoever it is that I'm treating, an adult or a child, then I speak with them and I advise them how their brain is either developing or is affected by the different chemicals that they're placing into their brains that is creating a lot of the issue that they are facing. By them understanding that they are doing this to themselves and that they can undo this. This is half of the battle. A lot of times, a person who comes in diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, attention deficit disorder, with hyperactivity prevalence, or with autism or things of this nature, when they come in and they eat right, a lot of those symptoms goes away and they no longer qualify for a disorder. However, they do then need some therapy and some help in cultivating a much better way of thinking about things. Because not only is there a food issue, but there is also a perception of our world issue, a distortion of thought issue, and that does require some added help. But it's a lot easier to help you with those issues when you have your chemical balanced inside of your head and your body. Your brain needs several different things in order to function at its maximum potential, and one of those is the proper chemical balances. Another is oxygen, and another one then of course is sleep. And with those three things, then the brain normally can function quite well. Without them, it doesn't. With the wrong chemicals, then with those imbalances, you are going to be foggy in the way that you perceive things. Things are going to be more difficult for you to be able to understand and comprehend. Your short-term memory is not going to function right. Your IQ is not going to be maximized because you can't focus. You can't concentrate. You're more likely to have some kind of mood disorder, as well as an impulse control problem. That's a given. So when we correct this, then we correct a whole lot of the issue. And then that person is open then for us to be able to work with, to help them with better social skills, communication skills, conflict resolution skills, and to help them to be able to identify and to challenge and to then reframe negative thinking. Okay? I just wanted to bring these issues to you, for you to consider these. It's far better to be healthy in a natural sense, by natural means. Please don't jump to medicine, pills. Have a blessed day.